Hello and welcome to our latest video update from me, Stuart Wilson, Corporate Marketing Director at more2life, and joining me as ever, Ben War, our Director of Operations and Change. Welcome, Ben. Great to see you again, and I thought it was worth us having a quick catch up. We're now heading towards the middle of March. We've had the great news recently from the Chancellor, as was heavily trailed, that he was extending the stamp duty holiday, which takes a little bit of pressure off, doesn't it, in terms of cases going through the pipe. But we've seen a big increase in the number of purchase cases going through more2life at the moment, haven't we? So how's things in regards to that in terms of the back office processing right now?
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks, Stuart. So it's definitely very, very busy in the purchase arena. Typically about 5 in 100 apps would normally contain some sort of purchase element to the transaction in more2life. Currently that ratio is about 15 in 100, and we also have a lot of existing customers that have taken loans historically and are now porting those loans to a new property, obviously to take advantage of the stamp duty holiday. So it's definitely been a catalyst for a lot of change in the market. And caused a little bit of extra volume, and that volume tends to be more complex because obviously customers are in chains. Obviously emotionally as well, customers are perhaps a little bit more invested in getting their dream house or moving to their dream house than just doing a normal remortgage, if you like. So I think all of those factors are in play at the moment. I think the good news is that both ourselves and our solicitors are handling that situation well so far. We have got a lot of daily calls and a lot of spreadsheets that we're using to manage this situation. But you can absolutely rest assured that we are all over this with our conveyancers. We are working closely with the customer solicitors as well, so we're clear on what dates transactions have to complete by, and making sure everything's lined up well ahead of that, so that we don't get to oh my gosh, I've got someone in a removal van outside an address and they can't actually proceed on that basis. Touch wood, we haven't had any of those situations yet, which I have some comfort from the operational processes we've put in place, but obviously that's just the doomsday scenario that we're trying to avoid. So a lot of effort. We've got a dedicated team in place to actually manage this, both at our solicitors and in more2life, to make sure that this goes smoothly. What I would also say is obviously that given the Chancellor in the last budget, he has extended that window out to the end of June, with smaller properties still benefiting to the end of September, I think it is. So again, that should mean it's a more gradual tailing down of volume as opposed to the hard cliff edge that we were previously sat with. So we're handling it well, but as always, it's really important we work closely with customer solicitors, and of course brokers have a part to play in that as well, to make sure we work as one team to get these cases through and get the customers their objectives met and their dreams hopefully coming true.
Absolutely, and we've produced a short guide for advisors that we've sent out. If you haven't had that in your inbox, do get in touch. We can send a version across to you, or look on our Learning Lab, you'll find it there. But it's a nice handy hints and tips on getting purchase cases through as quickly as possible, because as you mentioned, Ben, it's just a little bit more complicated and elongated to a standard loan. Be interesting to see how that plays out beyond the end of the stamp duty holiday. As you said, purchase cases tend to make up quite a small part of our overall application pipeline, but it may well be that we'll see more of those cases going forward, because not all advisors are aware that you can use equity release for purchase. It might have opened the eyes to some advisors as to the opportunities in this marketplace. So that's the kind of background to purchases, which has obviously increased volume, and as you say, porting cases as well. But thinking more generally about more2life's current service situation in the back office there, how are things there in terms of, for example, getting applications through to offer?
Sure. Well, that's actually the most pleasing part of the entire process, is the application to offer process at the moment. So a couple of things probably to pull out, I think, Stuart, from where we are in more2life at the moment. First and foremost is eServe, who do our valuations. We know that's an absolutely critical part to getting an offer. I'm pleased to say that currently, over the last month, we've seen eServe on average going from instruction to valuation in just under 4 days, 3.99 days to be precise. And actually excluding customer-driven delays to having evaluation done, that number is 2.25 days from instruction to valuation. So we are currently seeing quite a lot of feedback where customers and brokers are saying, it's unbelievable, I submitted yesterday and the evaluation's today. And that's just exactly where we want to be, is to get the process moving and obviously, surprising, hopefully on a positive way, our customers with the service that we're providing. Then once those valuations are coming back into underwriting, typically they're being looked at within 24 hours. We have a small number that's looking at the moment in 48 hours. But as we sit here this morning on Monday the 15th, everything is looked at in 24 hours. That's a great tribute to the fantastic team of underwriters that I'm lucky enough to have working for us here at More to Life. There's a lot more of them than there were last year as well, which is also helping. And we've also deployed some additional tools and automation to make their lives easier so that they can decision cases even better and even faster than ever before. So put all of those things together, we're seeing pre-offer averages which are probably as fast as they've ever been, and certainly equivalent to what we were doing pre the whole COVID period in sort of March last year.
That's fabulous. There's some fantastic apps to offer times there, really speeding up as fast as we possibly can the processing of applications and ultimately through to completion. You started to mention there some of the other elements that you're putting in place there. So what else has More to Life been doing, as well as obviously expanding the underwriting team, which is great news? What other things are More to Life doing right now to increase capacity and to improve our service proposition even more?
Sure. So there's a few things I think I just call to mind. So one of those is that we are actually recruiting staff actually in a number of areas to reflect the volumes that we're privileged enough to be looking after for brokers and their customers. And we certainly don't take that for granted. But what it does mean is when our volumes go up, if we do need to spend some money and bring some more people in, we will absolutely do that to make sure we offer the best service we can. Despite the challenges of training in a COVID world, we are overcoming those hurdles and still getting people in socially distanced and training them, supervising them, etc., so that they're of the right standard and quality and delivering that service that we want to. We're also have done a lot of work over the last 12 months with robotic process automation. So we've deployed a lot of robots. I think we've got about 20 robots now that are working within More to Life and helping our human workforce. Typically, we deploy the robots in transactions and tasks which are highly repetitive in nature. And a robot can chunk through those much faster than a human can, with better levels of accuracy. And I think that's certainly playing its part in sustaining a good service to customers given the volumes, as I say, that we're lucky enough and privileged enough to have. And that's really helping. So the deployment of robots into More to Life is definitely making a difference. And also it's a great story for our people as well, because as I said, we are still hiring, so we're not using automation to release staff or anything like that, but it's more about freeing our staff to deal with those more complex cases, for example, where you need a human, or you need to create time and space for staff to look at a complex case and deliver the right outcome, not just simply follow a rule book, if you like, to try and get the right outcome. So that's a really important part of our strategy this year, is to make sure that we have more people available to deliver with those more complex cases and hopefully get better outcomes faster than ever before. So that's a key part of our strategy this year, Stuart.
Fantastic. And I can't believe it's coming up on almost a year since we did the first of these videos. So we'll have to have an anniversary get together, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. But for now, Ben, thank you very much for that information. That's fantastic to hear how well we're doing at a time of continued uncertainty in the market, with lockdown continuing, but things very much seem to be progressing really well in More to Life. And it sounds like you and the team are doing a fantastic job pushing through all those applications that the people have been putting in and around purchase cases, which is great to hear. So thanks for joining us again today, Ben, and thank you for joining us on this video. We'll be producing more of these as ever in the fullness of time. But for now, thanks for joining us once again, and we look forward to catching you on the next video. Thanks very much.
Take care and stay safe, everyone.
More to Life, for advisors on a mission.